Okay, let's actually get into some beneficial stuff for you guys. So we did say that we're going to go over the 5 things women need in a relationship that often get overlooked. So the first one is to feel safe. Women feeling safe within a relationship is something that often gets overlooked.
Because something I didn't realize that Mia has educated me on more. Because as a man growing up, you don't even think about safety a lot of the time. When you're walking down the street, you're not looking behind you at who's walking behind you. You're not checking over your shoulder. You're not doing these things. But as a woman, it's so different. And I had no idea. And I'm sure a lot of men, if you're listening to this, you don't have the insight of what it's like being a woman walking down the street. Like men, we don't have to think about what we're doing, where we're going. If we're walking alone in an alleyway at night, it's like we don't have to think about anything. But a lot of women do have that undercurrent of fear and anxiety.
Yeah, and it's also something that I wasn't fully aware of all the things that I would do to make sure that I was safe until I was spending so much time with you and I felt safe, which meant that I wasn't doing all of these little things. And it wasn't until I felt super safe with you that I realized, I've stopped doing.
Much you do.
Yeah, it's like how many things I did in the past and still do if I am by myself that I didn't even realize it was just automatic. So it's like even every time I get in the car, I always check behind my seat and like check within my car and then lock my doors straight away. It's like I never drive with my doors unlocked. I'll always make sure that my doors are locked to make sure that there's no one that like hijacks me as I'm driving. And we're in Australia, it is very safe here. Like that's not a very common thing to happen. And then it's even walking around at nighttime if I have my AirPods in or going for a run, not necessarily wanting to listen to music too loud because I want to be aware of my surroundings and constantly looking behind me and avoiding going into potential alleyways or potential streets where it is dark and there's not other people around me to protect me in those times.
Yeah, I was totally unaware of this when, as a man going through life, you don't have to think about a lot of things. And it's amazing how many more things women think about. Number 2 is women need to be able to express themselves. This is something important. Sometimes women say things to men and then men have no idea because they're so logical and they try and make sense of what the woman's saying. But sometimes the woman doesn't make sense. She's just trying to express her emotions, the things that are going on for her. And then the man thinks something's wrong. I need to fix this. I need to figure this out. I need to work out this puzzle in order to make her feel okay. And then it leaves the man feeling confused and leaves the woman feeling misunderstood and unheard. And it happens so often within a relationship. It's like sometimes they just need you to hold space for them to express themselves, you to encourage them to open up, even if it doesn't make sense. Stop trying to be logical about every single thing that comes out of your girlfriend's mouth and actually just listen to her and make her feel heard.
And then number 3 is recognition. Recognition is such a thing of just being seen and pretty much just acknowledgement of what your girlfriend or what your partner is doing for you. It generally is the little things of you noticing that I put the dishes away or that I hung up your shirt that you left on the couch. And it's just you going up to your partner and saying, hey, like, oh, thanks for doing this. I appreciate that. Because that small acknowledgement is showing that you appreciate her and that you recognize her for everything that she's doing. It's all the little things. It's all the big things. It's like all of those add up over time. And it's like if you don't recognize and give her recognition in those times that she's doing all these small things, after so many days and times of not recognizing that, she will feel unseen and unvalued, which then will catapult into resentment and the end of the relationship if we do go down that path.
Yeah, men are so unaware of a lot of stuff. Let's play a scenario where the woman stays at home, looks after her child and looks after the house, and then the man goes off to work for 8 hours a day. The man can go off to work really hard, stressed out environment, 8 hours outside the house, away from the children, away from the child, away from his girlfriend, and come home and think, I'm the one that's done the work and she's the one who's just stayed home all day. She's got to stay home all day while I had to go out to work. You don't recognize all the little things that woman would have to do throughout the day, the hundreds of little jobs, all the things she's have to think about, being consumed by that child all day. A lot of men don't recognize that. And if the woman doesn't feel recognized, then she's going to build up resentment towards him. She's going to be angry. She's not going to be peaceful when you get home. She's not going to feel lovey. She's not going to be that soft feminine that you want. So it's so important for you to recognize all the little things they do throughout the day, because everyone has different values, right? The guy will value hard work, bringing in the money, going out and working, while the woman values raising a family, keeping the household together, nurturing everyone. And sometimes men can't see the power in women and women can't see the power in men. So it's so important for the woman to actually be recognized.
Okay, then moving on to number 4, which is present.
Yeah, men are often in their own head. They're always... I feel like men, especially when they get to their mid-20s or their late 20s, even into their 30s, there's this massive drive that comes from inside. I was talking to a client yesterday about it. Like early 20s is play, late 20s is build. And men go through this transition period in their mid-20s where they just want to build. They want to create something. They have this innate desire to build and provide. So they work really hard, right? They want to work hard. They want to build something. They want to create something. They've got so much energy that needs to go towards something. And a lot of time men can be chasing their tail so much because they always feel like they need to be further ahead. They always feel like they're not enough. They need to do more, just constantly chasing. And in that time, they can stop being present with their girlfriend, because a lot of time they do that stuff to provide for their woman, to provide for their family. And in the meantime, while doing that, the woman might not feel recognized and she doesn't feel present with you. So it's important to get out of your head and into your body when you're actually with your woman to give her presence.
You're welcome.
Right, the last one is vulnerability. Why is it important for men to be vulnerable?
Naturally, I believe women want to express themselves. They want to share their emotions, giving you so much vulnerability. However, if that's not reciprocated, they're not going to naturally want to keep sharing information, sharing how they feel with you. And the more, like, we love you so much. We're in a relationship because we care about you, because we love you. We want you to be able to be vulnerable with us, knowing that we can hold you through that, knowing that we're here to support you, that we're wanting to support you. And naturally, this is such a way that women also show that they love you and that they're here for you. And by you being vulnerable to us, it shows that you care for us as well, that you trust us to be able to hold you in these moments.
And it'd be great for women to recognize emotional intelligence and emotional awareness generally doesn't come as easy to men. Women are generally more in their emotions and they've got that sensitivity around the emotions, which is such a superpower. And sometimes when women want to connect with men on an emotional level, men haven't learned how to do that. They haven't grown up doing that. Their father maybe was super emotionally unavailable. They didn't really talk about their feelings. They just talked about the surface level things, never talking about their feelings. Whereas a lot of women growing up, they do more so talk about their feelings and what's going on for them. If your man doesn't connect with you on an emotional level, instead of getting mad at him and angry at him, recognize that maybe he just hasn't ever learned how to do that. So teach him slowly how to open up. How was your day? What's going on your mind? How did that make you feel? Just really open him up and really help him get in touch with his emotions. Because a lot of time men are so in their own head, right? So when you can practice going back into your emotions and getting into your feelings, then that's going to make such a big difference in the relationship. And that's why it's so important to have a vulnerable partner so they can actually fully open up to you, to let you in, right? You want to be emotionally connected, but sometimes the other partner doesn't let you in. It feels cold and you can't really build that depth of connection. So it's be safe, express yourself, feel recognized, be present, and vulnerability.